Greetings, welcome. Thanks for joining me on yet another edition of Electric Avenue's YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a few new releases. It's not a big group because we're getting close to Christmas, Hanukkah, all of the seasonal holidays in December of 2022. This is the week of December 16th. So, what, 9 or 10 shopping days left? Something like that. Anyway, I can't count. I'm a music guy, not a numbers guy. Anyway, so be on the lookout. I'm going to be also posting a video of my top 20 picks of the year. Very personal top 20 picks, nothing to do with being paid by anybody in the record industry to promote these records. They're just ones that I loved and responded to this year. And, well, there were many that were left off the list because there were far more than 20. I think my initial count came to something like 60, somewhere between 55 and 65. So I whittled it down. But anyway, all right. With that being said, new releases. And this is not really a new release, but I feel like I have to show it, which, getting a Mariah Carey Christmas album these days is sort of like hunting for a needle in a haystack. They just really don't have that many vinyl copies of this out there at any given time. And you'd think for the most streamed Christmas song in history, the fact that All I Want for Christmas Is You is #1 again, that this would be everywhere. I think I got 1 or 2 copies this year. I mean, of course, then I'm like, well, I don't know how many people are out there buying Mariah Christmas records, but, probably a few want that. Another Christmas record of note that some people might be interested in is this Now, That's What I Call Christmas. It's an import that came out this year. It's 3 records. There's a ton of stuff on here, from traditional records or songs to modern. The first side A starts with Wham's Last Christmas, Elton John's Step Into Christmas, Wizards' I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, Slade's Merry Christmas Everybody, Boney M, Mary's Boy Child, Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, Bobby Helms' Jingle Bell Rock, and Beach Boys' Little Saint Nick. And that's just side 1. Side 2 starts with Band-Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas. Side 3, John Lennon's War Is Over, Happy Christmas. Springsteen's Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. Crosby and Bowie's Little Drummer Boy. Side 4 has Ed Sheeran and Elton John doing Merry Christmas. Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time. Darlene Love, The Ronettes, The Crystals. Record 3 starts with that infamous Pogues and Kirsty MacColl Fairy Tale of New York, Pretenders 2,000 Miles, Waitress's Christmas Wrapping, and then the last side has a lot of sort of standards. I kind of feel like Carpenter's Merry Christmas Darling, Bing Crosby's White Christmas, Nat King Cole's Christmas Song. So anyway, I think they're red vinyl too. For $45, it's a pretty good value for everything that you get in there. So oddly enough, the Mariah Carey song is not All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's Christmas Baby Please Come Home, which is a great song. I'm kind of almost glad in a way that they chose that, because you hear the other everywhere. All you have to do is turn on the radio, so at least they give you something a little different. Although if you're looking for definitive Christmas songs, maybe it costs too much to license. I don't know. Another new one is Alicia Keys' Santa Baby. So Alicia going the Christmas route this year. Starts with Santa Baby, ends with Ave Maria. All right. There are a couple new releases that haven't shown up yet. They're on the way. One being the Primus Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's like a special color pressing of that. And the other one is Benny Carter, which is a sort of a jazz reissue on contemporary sounds. Remastered by Bernie Grunman and done by Acoustic Sounds, I believe, did the pressings on those, or did the lacquer. Those are on the way. So if you don't see them, they'll probably be in the next video. Anyway, Ween, Painting the Town Brown. This has been out before, but this is this is 3 LPs. It's on first ever US pressing on brown vinyl. I think it was out before on maybe plain recordings or something. Not the greatest pressing. This should be better. It includes the 26-minute version of Poop Ship Destroyer. What says Christmas more than Ween, right? Live 90 to 98. So there you go for my Ween fans. Maybe that'll be the screen grab. I don't know. Ween are awesome. From Ween to Queen. Queen's News of the World, half-speed master edition. Black vinyl, but half-speed mastered. I'm sure it sounds great. They've been doing the whole series of Queen stuff. A couple of Blue Note classic series this week. The Tone Poets next couple are coming right after Chris. I think it's January 6th. We're getting a Grant Green and a Bobby Hutcherson. But for Christmas, we get Thelonious Monk. This is Genius of Modern Music, Volume 1. It's nice that they're doing that. That's a great album. And Monk has a ton of fans. The other one is The Eminent J.J. Johnson. This is also, I believe they were calling it Volume 1, but this has Clifford Brown, Charles Mingus, Kenny Clark, and John Lewis. So a couple really like big records for Blue Note, I think, seeing the light of day. A couple other things. Oh, I should grab this while I'm at it. I got stuff all over the place. A couple other things reissue wise. Frank Zappa, Waka Jawaka. This is a, they're calling it the 50th anniversary 180 gram black vinyl. Bernie Grunman did the mastering, all analog, in 2022. And also did this one, Grand Wazoo. So those both are out on vinyl again. Grand Wazoo is a gatefold, Waka is not. And then there's also a CD box set which has the both of those, but the CD set is kind of interesting because it's a 5-disc version, contains unheard audio from the vault representing the recording sessions and tours that followed, including a concert from the Winterland Ballroom. Also includes unreleased George Duke demos and a Blu-ray disc with new Dolby Atmos mixes and high-res stereo versions of the album. Which is funny that they're doing that, but then the Beatles can't do an Atmos version inside of the Revolver set, so leave it to the Zappa family. All right, I'll get back to whatever I have over there. Pharoah Sanders, Karma. This record is very hard to find. Didn't get a lot of them, unfortunately. I think they were in such high demand. But this is on Verve Acoustic Sounds series, manufactured by QRP. Mastered from the original analog tapes by top mastering engineers. I wish I'd be a little more specific with that, but whatever, you get what you get. Panda Bear's Person Pitch. The new Panda Bear, the one with Sonic Boom called Reset, is one of the sort of highest critically acclaimed albums of the year. And this was done 2007. And interestingly, it says copyright 2023 Domino Recording. So kind of jumping the gun here because it's still 2022. That's okay. At least they're primed and ready for next year. The Sword, the 10th anniversary edition of Apocryphon. This is actually very limited. Indie store exclusive, 180 gram Cosmic Yellow swirl vinyl. Features Veil of Isis, Cloak of Feathers, sort of a metal classic. I don't know, it seems like when I talk to people about The Sword, they always seem to like the earlier albums the best. So, and then another big reissue, The Killers, Pressure Machine. This is their most recent album. Apparently there's another one that's almost ready for release. But you can see from the track listing there, it's fairly extensive. This is basically the most recent album, and then there are several versions or kind of medley versions of these other tracks. The Getting By, which is the last song on the album. There's a version with Lucius, different versions of Runaway Horses and West Hills. It's not a bad value. 3 records. So, yeah. Brandon Flowers and company, very busy. Like I was saying, I don't really think there's much on CD this week. There's the new Circa Survive, which comes out on vinyl after Christmas. There's a Kansas collection, which is basically celebrating 50 years of Kansas, I guess. 3 CD collection. It sort of starts with their most recent stuff and then works backwards. So, yeah. Kansas. And then Allman Brothers, Syria Mosque. This is another live recording from 1971. Obviously, it ends with a 20-minute version of Whipping Post, 15 minutes of a Memory of Elizabeth Reed, and You Don't Love Me. You don't love me. Okay, and so that's the main bulk of new releases. Oh, I did forget a couple of things here. 10 inches. Elton John, Step Into Christmas, and Ho Ho Ho, Who'd Be a Turkey at Christmas. Second side, All Quiet on the Western Front, Cold as Christmas, and Calling It Christmas with Joss Stone. Red vinyl. It's a 10-inch. And another 10-inch, Rammstein, Adieu, which I don't know if I can really show too much of that. They kind of look... Rammstein cover is always like, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's okay. I have to kind of like I should have taken a look at that before I showed it on screen. All right. Yes. And so there are still a lot of things that we're waiting for in this whole supply chain debacle that have not shown up. And I'm thinking of people like Mac Miller. Like, I don't think I've seen a copy of Swimming in about a year now, maybe more, year and a half. And you start getting questions at Christmas like, do you have? And I'm like, certain obvious things are not out there, but then they keep putting out all this new stuff. But there are some things that have come out lately that are nice to see again, or to see out there. I'm thinking of things like The Cure's and Treat, which is, I know it's somewhat like polarizing with the fans, depending on, what you think of Boris's drumming, but it's a cool document of the Disintegration live tour. And so it's basically the Disintegration album performed live. And I'm really looking forward to the new Cure album. I think that should be coming. I mean, he's promised this, I don't know how many times, Robert Smith, but it's supposedly coming in 2023. A couple other things that were kind of nice to see again. They did more of these pressings of Green Mind, the Dinosaur Jr. as a double record. Same thing with Where You Been and Without a Sound. And so I would say if you're interested in those sorts of things, don't sleep on them, because I don't know how long they're going to be around. Another thing that I hadn't seen in probably, I don't know how many years, Skinny Puppy. If you're into like industrial 80s, whatever, there's Bites, Remission, Mind, the Perpetual Intercourse, which has one of the scariest songs ever, dig it. Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate, Vivisect, Rabies, which is aided by Al Jorgensen of Ministry, and Last Rites. For some reason they skipped Too Dark Park. I don't know. I was talking with someone the other day about that, and they said maybe there's problems with sample clearance or something. So anyway, so those I haven't seen in a while. They're probably not made in massive quantities, so if you see those out there, grab those if you want them. Yeah, so like I said, this is going to be a much shorter video today, a little bite-sized, because the other video is about a half an hour. about my top 20 picks of the year and why. And thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for being so supportive all year. I really appreciate that. It was a very strange year. We've had a little like personal family illness at the end that's been a little difficult to deal with. And then also sort of a plateau year in the sense that we're dealing with all the supply chain issues, inflation, so the business is still doing well, but it's just, you kind of start seeing people getting a little bit itchy. I think a lot of kids that were getting into vinyl in the last couple years when they were at home and not doing anything, all of a sudden they don't have as much free time as they had, and they see that records have gone up in price. So it's sort of a mixed bag. I feel like some of the record companies, in particular, the big guys like Universal, really sort of put the cart before the horse and started raising prices a little too much when they really needed to kind of pull back. There are certain records that I've seen pushing the $50 price point, like Kendrick Lamar, that actually have not sold that well because on vinyl, because they're just too expensive. I think if they keep it more in the mid 30s, maybe 40 and less, even 40, once you hit 40 is a little hard to take, at least in what the US market is handling right now. But I'm looking forward to such a great 2023. I've seen a whole bunch of things that are scheduled to come out. In January, we finally get the Wilco album, Cruel Country, on vinyl that's been out streaming since May. We get the new Phoenix album, which is already out on CD. New records from Margot Price and John Cale. There's a whole bunch of Rhino releases, the Start Your Ear Off Right program. And oh my gosh, it's like color vinyl of so many different things. I'm so glad they're doing B-52's Whammy. There's a whole bunch coming out. Velvet Underground, Dire Straits, ZZ Top. You can kind of see some of them written on my board a little bit, although it's probably cut off. And then other big names that I've seen, albums that are either in the works or like predicted. We know there's going to be a Gorillaz in February. There's a Depeche Mode coming, I think March. Peter Gabriel has been promising this. I think he's pretty close to releasing because he's got a tour. The Cure's been touring and they've been playing a whole bunch of new songs. Everything But the Girl had said they have a new album, and I think that's their first in at least 24, 25 years, while Tracy and Ben have been sort of doing side projects. It's an interesting dynamic when you've got a married couple and they don't record an album together for 25 years, even though that's sort of how they kind of built their career to begin with. And then some indie bands like US Girls. I've seen Shame is another one. So just keep checking back, and I'll try and keep you as posted in these videos as I possibly can as to what the store is getting and what to be on the lookout for. Don't forget also Bob Dylan box set in January, and the Bruce Springsteen box set, which I don't know if that has a date yet. But the Dylan is sort of like controversial because he's only releasing the 10 LP version through his website. So once again, like indie stores kind of get screwed where we can only get the 4 LP version or the CD box set. And then there's the Springsteen, which is 5 albums he recorded in the 90s that he never released. So those ought to be interesting to hear, to see what sort of parallel career he would have had going. But the Dylan is sort of controversial in the way that the McCartney debacle with that 45s box set, where if you ordered it online, you probably got yours if you were lucky to get in under the wire. But anybody who ordered it from a store, which includes some of my customers, kind of got screwed, because all of a sudden McCartney's people were like, nope, we're only going to sell it through the website. Well, then why did you bother soliciting it to independent record stores? And now their customers don't have a way to get it because it's already sold out. And you've got flippers asking, I saw one listing for $25,000 for a $600 crate of 45s. The opportunism is really pretty stenchy in that case. And McCartney's not alone, but that's a pretty flagrant sort of version of it. So it's unfortunate if you're a fan, because you feel like you're getting taken advantage of by the person that you have loved and admired for years. So it's like a bad marriage. I don't know. Anyway, thanks guys, and be looking for the other video. All right, take care, have a great day. It's rainy, icy, and miserable here, so I hope it's better where you are. Chances are 50% no. All right, peace.